Hello, this is the demonstration of my game, currently called Hex2. It is the second version of this hexagonal game project I've been working on. The big idea is that it plays a bit like Civilization 6, Sid Meier's Civilization 6, where the player places buildings and units on a hexagonal tile map and seeks to grow and expand their civilization. To do that, the player must be able to place buildings. This is a demonstration of how that works. Following the mouse is a building. Where the player clicks is where the building will end up. And a white hexagonal border demonstrates the extent the building has on collecting resources. Let's put it down here. Clicking on the building reveals the build menu. At the moment, the last two options work. Deploy an oil well or deploy a scout. Let's put down another building. This building is kind of like a sub-building and seeks to collect resources from the map. There. It has a smaller hexagonal border representing its resource range. And the purple lines represent what resources it is currently picking up and utilizing. And this is now our basic settlement. If the next turn button is clicked, our resources will grow and the turn will be advanced by 1. Let's demonstrate how units work by placing down a scout. Its sprite is a car. Clicking on it will reveal its two modes of action it can do. It can attack or it can move. I'll show the movement feature. The game draws a line describing the movement of the unit, and it tells the player how many movement points it will consume in that movement. Here it'll take 3 moves. There. And now for this turn we're out of moves. It can also attack buildings and other units that are attackable. Right now it doesn't distinguish between friend or foe. So the player can attack their own starting city. And if I attack it one more time, it'll actually disappear. There, that's gone. Click the next turn, our moves reset, and once again, the unit will be able to move again. That's the way the turn-based system works. This map is a hand-drawn map. Another feature available is a pseudo-random generated map. Now I've reloaded the game to demonstrate another feature I made a week ago. This is the randomly generated map. The features work the same way. A building can be placed down and a well can be utilized as well to use up some resources on the map. But what's interesting is the map is now a randomly generated tile map. This works in a similar way to Minecraft, and it lets me create these larger, expansive maps that have a varied landscape and geography. Not yet implemented is placing of resources and a more nuanced approach to what these tiles mean. A sand tile versus a grass tile versus a tree or mountain tile. There's no real difference right now between what those tiles mean for the city, and I'd like to implement that soon. My goal for this week is to further expand upon the terrain system and the resource system. And soon I should have something that is in fact even playable, and I can begin to try out and test little features, gameplay features, and run through this prototyping system and determine if that's actually a fun gameplay or if it's not a fun gameplay. Change things and experiment on it. What's there now, the buildings and units, is pretty good. It needs to be a little bit more fleshed out, maybe polished, and then we're on the road to something that is a fun game with all these features coming together. Thank you, and I'll have updates next time.